What I'm also feeling is, as well, the seventh house is the natural house of Libra, and I feel that you guys are very, very relationship oriented, and oftentimes you are also, you shine in relationships as well. So I feel that there's a lot of relationships blessing coming through. So business partnerships seem like it's really going to help you. It's going to be financially beneficial for you, as well as, they're saying like financial assistance coming through partners. So alone on your own, you might have some financial difficulties, but when it's linked up with another person, I feel like there's overall abundance to allow you to have a little bit of wiggle room when it comes to your spending, where you're not going to have to budget and be too strict with spending. So there is some financial abundance coming through, or the alleviation of financial burdens once you start to link up your joint assets with another person. This card usually means, being able to start saving money, the disposable income trickling in, where you're not feeling that financial lack and you're going to start to be able to save, which is great. And that's something you definitely should implement for this month. It's the beginning of the year. And usually, it's very powerful to set intentions. So even at the beginning of the year, if you consciously, make set the intention that, okay, I'm going to try to save up this year. And for this month, I'm going to put in my savings, like whatever that you have that you feel you can, put away. Like it could even be $20 or, $500 or whatever the amount is. Set the intention to do that for this year, and especially do it in January. It's going to be beneficial for you. It will allow you to, it will help actually to provide, I guess, like, provide the motivation for you to keep at it throughout the rest of the year. Okay, so I do see money. You're starting to you're starting a new savings account, or money is trickling in where you have disposable income and you're starting to save. The ninth house deals with higher education. It also deals with foreigners. It also deals with philosophies and travel, long-term travel. So we have here the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups is basically, this is a card about recognition. So I'm interpreting the cards differently based on the house that it falls in, okay? I feel like for some of you, this could be like getting an award in a school environment. So higher education for those who are in college, grad school, med school, law school, or even doing your PhD program, whatever the situation might be, there's some type of a recognition ceremony for your achievements. And even those in high school, there's some type of recognition ceremony for the work that you are doing. So I feel that, the school environment, as it comes to learning, is flowing very, very smoothly. In terms of travel as well, there might be talks and discussions about traveling to see somebody that you have known for quite some time, like reconnecting with people from the past via travel, via voyages, okay? And then having really, really pleasant emotional exchanges with people who might be of a foreign ethnic background than you, so like somebody who's a foreigner, bringing in a lot of like soulful communication and emotional exchanges. And this is once again a soulmate card, and they're basically saying meeting a soulmate in unlikely places, especially in a school environment or even through travel. So this is a very, very good card overall that indicates like, if you already have this person in your life, it's basically a very strong soulmate that is hailing from a different culture, or you're meeting them in an institution of higher learning. So, go to class for those of you who are students, okay? Don't miss class. The 10th house deals with your career and your father. So let me talk about the career situation first. So you have some things here that are very, very lit up. Like the first house is very strong. The ninth house is very strong as well. And then the seventh house is really strong. So first, 7, and then the ninth house. And I feel like when the first house is very strong, your identity, you're still trying to find yourself. You're still, going through the motions, right? And then your partnership house, the seventh house, is really strong. That's the other area that you're focusing on heavily. And then your education house is very strong. So you might be, a student who undergoing these things in your life right now. Money's not that great yet. And because money is not that great, I feel like your career, you might be in a job situation rather than a career. So you're still having trouble trying to find that right career path for you. Okay. So this is a card about suspension. It's a card about waiting for something to come into the picture. I feel honestly that you are diverting your attention towards relationships and school. And so as a result of being in school, your income generating potential is going to have to be stalled or delay until you graduate, right? So as a result of that, I feel like your career is being put on hold. And then others of you as well, you might be self-employed and you might have a business partner. And so, the direction that the career is headed is going to be up to both partners to decide. And so as a result, you're kind of like stuck in limbo, waiting on the decision of another person, which it can be good or bad. But that's what I'm feeling here with this card when it comes to your career. So I feel like you're still trying, you're still trying to figure things out. You're in a job that you're not completely happy with, and you're still trying to find where you belong. You're still trying to find where you need to be. So I feel like a lot of you might not have had that type of a mentorship or guidance from people who are a little bit older as to what career might be suitable or what career might be appropriate for you. If you are in school, honestly see a career counselor, because I feel like this area of your chart, it looks a little bit weak, and it's going to, whatever is weak, we need to try to fix it so that it doesn't become a problem throughout the rest of the year. Okay. So if you are in school or in whatever capacity, if you have access to a career counselor, something like that, definitely have a discussion with them and see what's appropriate for you. And I also want to say as well, with the father figure, the Hangman is a father figure. So as it relates to the father figure, this is somebody with a very, I want to say an alternative mentality. So somebody who's very, very different from other dads. Okay. The way they live their life, the way they are, which can be good or bad. So they might be somebody who, travels a lot and is never home, for example. Or they might be somebody who's they're saying non-traditional. So it could be, a stay-at-home dad, for example. So I feel that, there is something here about the father that seems to me to be a little bit quirky, a little bit out of the norm. And as a result of that, I feel that it's somebody that can provide you a different perspective and good insights as well. But I also feel it's somebody who is not completely ambitious and who's not who doesn't really take risks, who plays it safe. And as a result of it, towards the end of, right now, if you're dealing with your father, he doesn't seem completely happy. So it's almost like somebody having to make a sacrifice in order to be a father, or fatherhood seemed to him as if it was a big sacrifice. Like he had to put his dreams, aspirations, whatever on hold in order to assume the role of the father. So as a result of this, I feel that, there is some misunderstandings or lack of understanding or lack of ability to really to comprehend the father. So I feel that, on the one hand, the father might be in the picture, but I just feel almost as if he's so different from you that it's really hard for you to wrap your head around his intentions, his motives, and why he does the things that he does. Okay. It's almost like somebody who is an enigma and you're racking your brain trying to figure them out. Your 11th house deals with friends and group associations. So first of all, we have the Two of Swords in the reverse position. The Two of Swords in the reverse position, I feel like you are taking an active step to be a lot more engaged with other people. So I feel like a lot of the times I feel like Libras, you are a very, very friendly sign. You're an air sign. You're a social butterfly as well. And I feel that you're generally very, very popular among your peers. And I feel that you're very popular because you're very diplomatic, you're very unassuming, and you are able and you're capable of seeing things from other people's perspectives. So you're not somebody that, is confrontational. You're not somebody that is mean or combative. You're very agreeable, and people really, really like that about you. And they feel like they feel like they don't have to put their guard up when they're around you because, you're unassuming. And so I feel like a lot of the times too, you might have a wide group of friends, but when it comes to, so I feel like, people flock to you. You've never had to go out of your way to make friends, for example. And I feel like sometime for this month, a lot of you might be thrust into a new environment, either a new school environment or just, a new social circle. And so you're going to have to put yourself out there. So rather than, waiting for people to approach you, I feel that you're going to have to be put in a position where you have to approach people. So you can no longer rely on, being people just automatically throwing themselves at you. I feel that you're going to have to make your intentions known. You're going to have to be the one that is actually doing the active pursuit of another person. Actively pursuing friends, because I feel that this is your, this might be the direction where the friendship is headed. So you might need to rack your brain a little bit more to come up with talking points so that you can relate better to your friends. So these things, whatever you have taken for granted in the past, where your friends are easy to come by and they come into your life, and mainly because you're very easygoing, and they like that about you. And so I feel like for this year and for this month, the thing that's going to come through is that you're going to have to take the active role to really put yourself out there, to come up with topics, to keep the conversation going. Okay. So you're not keeping people at arm's length. You're actually letting your guard down and actively going out there and letting people in and asking people and keeping the conversation going. So you're doing more of the active role. Now, your 12th house it deals with secrets. It deals with institutions, and it also deals with, just for the purposes of this reading, something in your environment that you're not aware of. So we have here the devil, and the devil deals with addiction. It deals with restriction. So let me pinpoint exactly the areas that, okay. So what I'm feeling is this. First of all, I feel like it's related to the 3rd house. Hold on one second. Let me see. So this is something in your environment. So the 12th house is something in your environment that you're not fully aware of yet, right? So it's something that is hidden, and it's going to be coming into view sometime for this month of January. So I'm going to pull out another card just to see what it relates to. So if the devil deals with bondage and restriction and people who are not capable of making decisions for themselves and to free themselves. So I'm going to say it's linked up with your 3rd house, which deals with siblings. I feel like, there is some karma between siblings, you and a sibling, that needs to be kind of worked through. Okay. And I feel like this is a person that is very, very stuck in their ways. They're keeping themselves isolated. They're keeping them hostage to their own rigid belief system. So if you've had a falling out with siblings, it's definitely in your best interest to try to be the first person to do that peace offering. And likewise, if you have been estranged for some time and they're reaching out to you, I feel like they really mean it. I feel that they really want to reconcile. Okay, so I feel like there's some reconciliation happening with family members and especially siblings. Likewise, I feel like, with the devil in your environment, I feel like the people around you, there's an overwhelming, codependent, toxic, energy where the people are either, very, very materialistic, or they're saying be careful of materialism. Your money house is a little bit weak coming through for January. And so be very, very careful of, spending more than you can afford. Be careful about squandering money that you need. Okay. So there's a overall sense of being a slave to money and being just be very careful about that. Okay, Libras? So I feel like it's linked up here with siblings. It's also linked up with your money house here, and that overwhelming sense of, you know, wanting luxury items, but spending outside of your means. Okay.